rejoice and be glad in it. So if you're not smiling, then something is wrong. I'm very happy to be here. I am honored, frankly, that my good friend and brother, Pastor J. Kim, it's funny, you know, call him Pastor J. Kim even after all these years, because we were in school together, and you know, we were pastoral most days, and then there were days where we weren't really that pastoral. I have a lot of stories, but today, this morning, he's Pastor J. Kim, and I'm honored, my friend, and so thankful for your service to God. Wherever God has taken you around this country, I've seen you serve. And even Dr. King said that everyone can be great because everyone can serve. And so we thank God for Pastor J. Kim around the people. My friends, everyone here is important and special and loved by God, but I must say that I have a few people who've come and joined me here, and I want you to say hello to them and acknowledge them because they've come from near and from far. So I have a very good brother who, my God, I think we've known each other now for more than 20 years. He is a retired rabbi, and he embodies everything that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and all the leaders who helped bring equality and justice to this country and to this world. Stephen Jacobs, my friend and brother, God bless you for being here. Please, won't you welcome? And this beautiful woman who decided, and she decided to make him her life partner. And so she is so graceful and merciful, and she is a wonderful servant. And she has become, like Stephen, family and a dear, dear friend. I'm so happy. This is now the 1 year, I guess we're a little bit out of the 1 year anniversary of their union. And she is not just a servant, but she's an important servant. And she took time to be here this morning, and I'm so thankful that she did, and I want this community to welcome her with open hearts and open minds. Will you welcome your servant, your state controller for the state of California, Ms. Betty Yee? Will you please welcome Betty Yee? She married my brother, so I know she exhibits a lot of grace and mercy, boy. And finally, my dear friend has come all the way from Florida. Will you welcome Miss Leah DeWitt? Welcome her this morning. All right, so Pastor Jake gave me the warning. You know, he told me the deal. He gave me the 3 B's. Be good, be brief, be seated. He said the people here do not play around, Lamell, so get on with it. So join me, if you will, in the Gospel according to Mark, chapter 8, verse 36. It's very brief. There's a very familiar question that I know we all have heard and seen before. And in the King James Version, Mark chapter 8, verse 36 reads, "For what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" The New Revised Standard Version quotes Jesus asking the question this way: "For what will it profit them to gain the whole world and forfeit their life?" Permit me for a few moments to speak from the thought Soul Train. Look to your left and look to your right. And say, neighbor, get on board. Get on board. The Soul Train. The Soul Train. Now, some of you may or may not be familiar with this. That's right, I see you. When I was growing up in Chicago, on Saturdays around 11 o'clock a.m., I grew up on the south side of Chicago, there was this television show called Soul Train. Does anybody know anything about that? There's a show called Soul Train. And the thing about this show, there were mean, every Saturday morning, I look forward to Soul Train because I was Michael Jackson and all these celebrities and these people dancing, and I must say there was some beautiful women on Soul Train. I was a young man, and beyond the dancing, I was happy to look at all these beautiful people. But then, they had this thing called the Soul Train line, and in the Soul Train line, if you ever, some of you've been in the Soul Train line before. Don't act like you've not been in the Soul Train line before, where the ladies stand on one side and the men stand on one side, and you got to go down the middle, and you got to dance, and you got to dance, and you got to show all your stuff. Soul Train. You remember Soul Train? You know what I'm talking about. Well, it was a show called Soul Train, and it was very critical and cultural, especially in the African American community, especially as a young man growing up on the south side of Chicago in the hood. We look forward to seeing these images and these people, and I always learned all the dance moves. But the question for us today is, what in the world does Soul Train have to do with the words in the scripture? What does Soul Train have to do with our life together? I was wondering about this, and I was trying to put all of this together as I reflected on our time together on this King holiday worship service, and I found myself reflecting back on my childhood and thinking about that TV show Soul Train and asking the question, Stephen, why did they call that show Soul Train? Why did they feel the need to use the word soul in the title? Pastor Jake, they could have easily called that show Dance Train. They could have easily named that show Boogie Woogie Train, but for some reason, I think to inject the word soul in the title symbolized something deeper. The word soul is defined in Webster's dictionary as the immaterial essence, the animating principle or actuating cause of an individual life. It goes on to say that it's a person's total self. One writer went on and said that soul is a sense of pride among ethnic people, especially African Americans. Indeed, when we refer to our souls, we are referring to that essential spiritual element that you can't see, but you know that it's there. We are referring to that thing deep inside of us that is very heart and core of our being and existence. So Soul Train, it spoke to its audience on a level far deeper than that of a regular variety show. It spoke to us in a collective in times of turbulence and change. That Saturday morning TV show was an oasis, not just entertainment, but something that stirred our souls. So when Jesus asked the question, for what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What does it profit them to gain the whole world and forfeit their life? Jesus wants to know, and I want to know, what does it mean for a generation of young people to have gained the hard-fought right to be able to go to whatever school they want to go to better, seek every job they want to seek, travel to any country they want to, live in any neighborhood they want to, communicate with each other and the folks around the world faster and in the speed of light, but where is their soul? What about their soul? What's going on with their soul? Have we lost their soul, Northminster? We are again in turbulent times. Our children are dying in inexcusable rates in the streets across America, even in California. Gang violence, related homicides, and other acts of black-on-black crime have claimed the lives of too many and instilled a sense of fear and hopelessness in many of our youth. What's more, thuggish and criminal behavior is glamorized in popular culture and admired by children barely old enough to learn how to read. Our schools, rather than becoming repositories of the arts and intellectual stimulation have been reduced to laboratories for police experiments regarding school safety and teachers engulfed in fear, educators fearing for their lives and fearing for their jobs. For black children to talk as if you have a deeper understanding and appreciation of the English language is equated with trying to act like a member of the white race. A desire to attend college, earn a PhD, raise a family, live in a decent home, or attend church is seen as not being cool. What does it profit them to gain the whole world and lose their soul? What does it profit them to gain the whole world and forfeit their life? According to the Center for Disease Control, AIDS is one of the leading causes of death for black women ages 25 to 34 years old. Homicide is the second leading cause of death for black women ages 15 to 24 years old. The majority of black female homicide victims are killed by a current or former boyfriend. 93% of all black homicide victims are killed by a black perpetrator. What does it profit us to gain the whole world and lose our soul? Our children are dying by the hands of police in astonishing numbers. Out of 1,217 deadly police shootings reported from 2010 to 2012, young black males ages 15 to 19 were 21 times more likely to be killed by police than their white counterparts. And what's really devastating is that these statistics are met with silence among God's people. Our country is still reeling, although it's been some time, we're still reeling from what happened in Ferguson, Missouri, when an unarmed 18-year-old Michael Brown was gunned down by a police officer. The teen's bullet-riddled body left lying in the street for 4 hours. Our children, all of these are our children, are dying, and with them, the heartbeat and the soul of our existence is dying. And it's not only our teens who are dying at the hands of police. Some of you remember Eric Garner, a black 43-year-old father of 6 who died on Staten Island after New York City police reportedly grabbed him in a chokehold while attempting to arrest him for selling untaxed cigarettes. What does it profit us to gain the whole world and lose our soul? A mentality of recklessness and not recognizing the value and the meaning and the gift of life is not only running rampant among the children of our families and in our communities, we're seeing stupid and ridiculous and embarrassing behavior by those who our kids look up to and admire, even in the field that I'm in sports and entertainment. What am I talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked. A few years ago now, you may remember Gilbert Arenas, a young, strong, gifted, talented, sun-crowned African-American prince, a once premier professional basketball player in the NBA, had signed a contract worth hundreds of millions of dollars, has nice cars and houses, but for some reason he thought that it made sense to bring 4 guns to the locker room, to the arena where he plays. Not only damaging his career, but he almost made a fast track to jail. What does it profit us to gain the whole world and lose our soul? You may remember Plaxico Burress, a young, strong, talented, gifted, sun-crowned African-American prince, premier professional football player in the NBA, made millions of dollars, drives nice cars, has nice houses. But for some reason, while out at the club, hanging out, he thought it made sense to bring a weapon, and he actually shot himself, ending his football career and almost served, and he actually did serve jail time. What does it profit us, my friends, to gain the whole world and lose our soul? Athletes, politicians, celebrities are just some of the examples of this generation of our children not understanding and appreciating from whence we have come and the legacies that they tarnish, the battles that have been won, the sacrifices that those before us have made, the pain that has been endured. The Negro spiritual said it best: we have come over a way that with tears has been watered, treading our path through the blood of the slaughter. Is this what Jackie Robinson fought for? Is this what he was yelled and heckled and called boy and nigger for? Is this what Hank Aaron, Muhammad Ali, and Althea Gibson, is this what they paved the way for this generation of privileged and gifted athletes to squander away the work and the sacrifices that were made for guns, gambling, and sex? Is this what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Fannie Lou Hamer, Rosa Parks, is this what they died for? So I ask the question to you. I know this may not be the message you intended for. That's okay. I'm going to get out there on the plane and go back to Florida in a little bit, so you got to deal with Pastor James about that. I'm sorry. So the question has to be asked of all of us sitting here: where did we go wrong? The mirror has to be placed in front of us, and we have to ask, how did we fight to allow a generation of our kids to gain the whole world, have the chance to go everywhere and do everything and be everything, and yet at the same time appreciate nothing? Furthermore, we have to look and ask ourselves, what does it profit us to gain the whole world and lose our souls? Today, as you, the men and women of Northminster Presbyterian Church of Diamond Bar, worship and give thanks and recognize the legacy and the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I just came by to tell you. I just wanted to stop by to remind you that ours is not just a battle for more government funding and more progressive legislative policies for our children and communities. Ours is a battle for the very soul of this generation. Oh yes, I affirm the need, Betty, for adequate funding in education. Oh yes, I affirm the need to increase teacher pay, especially for those teachers who are performing. Oh yes, I recognize the need to put resources in after-school activities. Yes, I understand our desire for more health care and decent medical facilities for our kids, but a government program didn't mentor me. A law legislated in the state or federal capital didn't keep me out of the game. Some dedicated and loving men and women wrapped their arms around me, sheltered me, protected me, showed me a different way. No matter how much money is allocated or appropriated, it will never take the place of strong men and women of faith embracing and touching the lives of our children. Amen. We, as men and women, I submit to you, must reclaim and reaffirm our standing in our community and shout from the mountaintop that these are our children. That's right. These are our babies. Yeah. This is our future. We must convince ourselves that no drug, no gang, no poverty, no fractured family, no abusive parent will separate our children from the love of God. This is our challenge. This indeed is our calling. Service to all mankind. Preaching. Service to our children. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, an individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. He went on to say on another occasion, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full generated by love. I've said it before, and it's worth saying again, Pastor Jake, that often tell young people that they have to learn their ABCs, and they look at me like really crazy, like that. You know, I'm like, you got to learn your ABCs if you really want to embrace the promise that God has for your lives. They're like, ABCs, and I'm like, yes, you need to understand your ABCs. And when I talk about the ABCs, I'm talking about teaching our children to take the A and accept their challenge. With the B, believe in themselves. And with the C, combine their words with action. And with the D, dedicate their lives to their dreams. And with the E, expect some hard times. But with the F, fight on and be faithful and finish their courses. And with the G, get God on your side. And with an H, have a made-up mind. And with the I, inspire someone else to take the J and journey with Jesus by their side. And with the K, keep on, keep it on. And with the L, let love be the light to show the way. And with the M, make every day count. And with the N, never say I can't. Take that O and overcome your obstacles. And with the P, put your best foot forward. And with the Q, quit quitting. And with the R, run this race with patience. And with the S, stand strong. And with the T, trust the Lord. And with the U, use your own talents. And with the V, value your own time. And with the W, work until your work is done. And with the X, x-ray your own lifestyle. And with the Y, yearn to achieve all the goals you seek. And with the Z, zealously strive to reach your peak. I don't know about you this morning, but I want to get on the real soul train. I want to take a ride on a real fantastic voyage. I can't speak for you this morning at this MLK gathering, but I'm going to make a commitment to take my soul back. I am going to make a commitment to redeem this generation. I'm getting on the real soul train, and I've discovered that the real soul train is one where everyone is not just dancing and singing to music, but the real soul train is the one where everybody is shouting and praising. The real soul train is not the one where all the celebrities are singing all these great songs, but the real soul train is the one where our babies are believing. And the real soul train is not where we're watching all these fantastic singers dancing, but the real soul train is where new days and new mornings we see. And the real soul train is not where we watch rappers on TV on a Saturday morning. The real soul train is where our communities are rejoicing. The real soul train is when we're proclaiming a new day in this country. Do you want to ride with me? Do you want to get on board the real soul train? The real soul train is where we meet Jesus. It's where we meet Christ. It's where we build community. God bless you, Lord.